Superman Reborn is probably the best Superman story in the last couple of years, and it crosses over between Superman and Action Comics. But first, let's quickly recap Part 1. In Superman Issue 18, video link in description, it's Superman and Lois' anniversary, but Clark Kent stops by to drop off a gift and then vanishes. Right after he leaves, their home starts to disintegrate, and so does their son, Jonathan Kent. And now, Superman and Lois are set on finding out the mysteries that surround this Clark Kent, including who is he and what has he done with their son. Superman and Lois rush to the apartment of Clark Kent to try and find him, for he has kidnapped their son. When they get there, they find nothing. There are no clues. The place is empty, as if no one lives there. Well, until they check the kitchen. The fridge and the cabinets are packed, but with junk food. Lois says it looks like a 6-year-old does the grocery shopping. But then a voice replies, "Not quite." And behind her appears Clark Kent. Superman races between his wife and this evil imposter. Superman attempts to intimidate him while asking him what has he done with his son. But surprisingly, Clark Kent is able to stand up to Superman. And then he begins his villainous monologue. He tells Superman that this isn't right, that he would have helped him, he did help him, and what he wants to know is why Superman didn't come to his rescue. Why did he forget about him? He was Superman's friend. Superman stands there confused, not knowing who this person is, and why would he do such a thing to Superman? So the imposter is infuriated even more and says, "Let's play a game. I want you to say my name." And then he begins to transform into various supervillains, taunting Superman to guess who he is and beating him with every wrong answer. And Superman, having a hard time focusing, wondering which of his villains has the ability to change form and fight with such strength. Eventually, Lois gets a clue and begins to say his name, and all of a sudden the fighting stops, and Mxyzptlk reveals himself. After they ask him what he has done with John, he tells them that since Superman didn't want to play anymore, he figured his son would, and shows that he is angry with Superman, that he forgot about him, and will see to it that Superman soon forgets about his son too. Then he vanishes. But he doesn't leave alone, for when Lois is talking to Superman, she has no idea who John is. It appears Mr. Mxyzptlk has taken her memory of John with him. This story will be continued in Superman 19. But this is a double-packed issue, and we get a second story, The Man in the Purple Hat. This is the story of where Jonathan Kent is and what he's doing. In The Man in the Purple Hat, John tells Mr. Spittlek that he knows who about him. Superman used to tell him bedtime stories about him. They called him Rippletat, cause John couldn't say it properly as a kid. In the stories, he was never a bad guy, he's just a prankster who would come play with Superman. Mixie, as I'll call him from now on, is touched by the story, but explains that it's true. He is an immortal from the 5th dimension, and was friends with Superman. He would come here every 3 months or so, but when he didn't show up, Superman never thought twice about it. And that was when Mixie needed him the most. See, what had happened this time was, Mixie was on his way to visit his friend Superman, but was captured by Mr. Oz because Mr. Oz said he had plans for Superman and doesn't want any interference. Mixie wasn't worried though, he has powerful friends, but Mr. Oz says that as immortals, time is meaningless. Those other 5th dimensional friends of his will let 2,000 years pass before they think of him. So Mixie says he has nothing to worry about since the world's greatest superhero is his friend and is expecting him. So when Mixie doesn't show, Superman will come after him. Well, the thing is, Superman never came. He had other issues, plus Mixie really wasn't consistent about showing up every 3 months. He has let years pass. Well, Mixie got tired of waiting, and after painfully saying his name backwards, because that will magically make him return home, he broke free from Mr. Oz's prison. That's when he disguised himself as Clark Kent to help Superman get his secret identity back, but eventually got jealous when he saw Superman was happy with a family and never thought about old Mixie. So, that is why he kidnapped John. This is revenge. Please, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Wow, this was a great story, pacing, art, and all. And I said it, Superman Reborn is one of my favorite Superman stories. I'm left wondering, how will Superman get Mr. Mxyzptlk to give John back and give Lois back her memories? Honestly, I didn't see Clark Kent being Mr. Mxyzptlk. But, based on the poll that I had in the Superman 18 video, half of you guys guessed right. I'd like to give a shout out to Henry Price. He's one of the people from the comments of Superman 18 that guessed right. Speaking of Superman 18, I want to thank you guys for watching that video and helping it get the goal of 15 likes. I really like how supportive you guys are, and you're really helping me get to that goal of 100 subscribers by the end of March, so thank you guys again. Also, since I'm behind on videos, and I'm sorry for that, you might get a couple of videos a day so I can catch up. Then I'm going to try to do one a day or so. So subscribe if you like comic book related videos. If you haven't read it, please go read this story and let me know what you think of it and this video down below in the comments. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Brian out.